人造人間対人造人間、進化するセルの恐怖。
くそ、タイミングがいいのか悪いのか。
From the opening of this game, nostalgia alone would be a big draw for a lot of people. I remember playing the original Dragon Ball Z The Legend on my PS1, and that game was the very first one I had on that console. I've spent a lot of time with it and replayed the game so much. Of course, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a very big improvement from that game. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Yamcha dying over and over?
Yamcha-san! なんてやつだ。自爆しやがった。
Starting with the combat, reminiscent of Dragon Ball The Legend, I guess you can say that it is very button mashing. The fighting itself is pretty standard, pretty basic. It is pretty much what you would say open for everyone, I guess. Because to be honest, there are a lot of people, or even children, who will actually play this game. But as with any combat that is geared for everyone, it is pretty basic. For example, you can dodge attacks by simply pressing the dodge button at the right time. That you would avoid the attack and then probably launch an attack of your own. Or you can hold the defend button and exactly press the evade button, and then you will be teleported right behind your enemy and be able to attack and then launch your own special attack. To be honest, the difficulty on this game is very strange, since there are some fights that you just finish easily, and then the next one you'd have a hell of a rough time. For example, the fight with Piccolo and the android Dr. Gero, it gave me so much of a problem. Unlike with Vegeta and the white android that you were fighting with. It was a pretty easy victory, and then in contrast with Piccolo's, the difficulty suddenly ramps up. I think they should have changed that, but I guess they just want to follow the story. But in doing so, makes it really hard for normal players to actually finish some of it, to be honest. You can charge your ki, so you can launch your devastating attacks, which has a corresponding amount of ki wasted whenever you do these attacks. The system for this game includes a community board where you can level up a character, which is represented by a soul emblem. You can give gifts that can be found when you finish certain tasks, or story elements where they are rewards. And in leveling up these communities based on the soul emblems that are attached to them, they can give you specific bonuses depending on where you've put specific characters. You can also level up your character moves by collecting different colored orbs that can be found floating around the world map or the world areas. There is also cooking in this game. Although it is very basic, it gives you different power-ups depending on what you've cooked. Or you can ask Chi-Chi to actually cook a full course meal where the effects are based on what you've asked her to cook, and also the length of the bonuses will be different as well. The open world loading times are some of the most annoying that I've found in a game, since the whole world map is separated into areas, and each time you fast travel to an area, it gives you a loading screen, which can be pretty painful at times. Of course, the story is about Goku, but the problem is you are not Goku or Kakarot. Contrary to the title of this game, mainly I've found myself to be more of Piccolo, Vegeta, mostly Gohan, so it kinda makes you wonder why they actually made this Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. When you technically follow the Dragon Ball Z saga, I think it would have been better if they named it something else. Of course, following the Dragon Ball Z saga isn't a knock on the game, to be honest, but still, the title could have been much better. The graphics overall for this game is very horrible, to be honest. I mean, except for the character models, which are pretty good, the textures are pretty last gen, and I think they could have done more with a bit of polish, especially since I've been playing this game on the PC, which, to be honest, I can't really see a good amount of good graphics, if I may say so myself. Given that this game is supposed to be a next-gen title, or as we may call it now, a current-gen title, leaves a lot to be desired. Also, there are some spots on this game where they have technically not done what they should. For example, Cell games where they just showed you still pictures of what Cell was doing while he's setting up the arena and the challenge that he's posed on the world. They just put up still pictures and let the narrator do all the work. Also, the lip syncing for the characters can be pretty off sometimes, which is another thing that bothers me, since it shows a lack of polish for the game. Don't get me wrong, the character models are very, very good, and I like the style for these kinds of anime-based games, but I still think that the lack of polish that could have been given to this game is sorely missing. But overall, the game to me is a very good one, considering all of these problems that you encounter and all this nitpicking, but still, it's a very good game for me. But of course, if you are not much of a fan of Dragon Ball Z, I don't think this game is for you due to the lack of polish and lack of attention on what could have been a better game. What are your thoughts about the game? Share them on the comments below. And if you appreciate the video, drop a like. And if you want to see similar videos, consider clicking the subscribe button. See you on the next video, and thanks for watching.
ありがとうピッコロさん。